We back. Welcome back to Building $1 Million Business. Let's get into on here. What if I told you you can build $1 million business and you can do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? It's exactly what we're about to do. I think we can get instant connected on here. Can we go live? Can we go live? Can we go live? Can we? Boom, we're back. There we go. Back better than ever. Welcome back, game changers. Welcome back, go getters. Welcome back, hustlers. Welcome back, mid level professionals. Welcome back, entrepreneurs. Welcome back, small business owners. Welcome back, corporate executives. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're building $1 million business and we're doing it in public. As always, I'm your host, Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy in some circles. And I appreciate you guys coming back. Thank you for rocking with me each and every time as we build this thing out. So this is week 14 of a 52-week build, episode 67. Episode 67. Can you, 67. Can y'all believe that? We're back in this thing and we're building $1 million business. As always, a little bit about me. Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy, Army veteran, 6 years military, 2 tours overseas, 1 during 9/11, former technology healthcare executive, was part of a $750 million technology exit in 2018. In 2023, I decided to bet on myself, right? So created my own company, started paying myself. So that happened in 2023. By the end of 2025, I was like, this is dope and all, but what if I can lean more into my purpose, more into the impact, and I can help other people as well. So in 2026, we decided, let's build this thing out in public, right? So that's what we're doing. We're building $1 million business in public. Every single episode is designed to give you some insights, some knowledge, some understanding, some systems, some tools, some frameworks, whatever you need to help you get to that $1 million bag, right? And there's a couple of different places. I got links in the banner. I got QR codes. I got links in my bio. You can simply type newsletter so you can be part of the newsletter. So we got 2 big goals this year. One is to actually generate and build $1 million ecosystem and do it in 12 calendar months. We kicked this thing off January the 11th, 2026. Here we are, April the 14th, 2026. So we're right at 90 days into this build. The second goal is to build out a 50,000 member ecosystem with inside the newsletter. Now, this is always probably the most important things that I tell you when you're establishing your $1 million wealth system, when you're trying to get to your $1 million bag. Probably one of the most important things you can do is to own your audience. And what I mean by that is you want to create some type of capture system where you can get people's contact information, where you can build a community, because that community is what's going to help you get to your $1 million bag. So that's the first thing that I would probably tell you to do. So if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, we got over 6,000 members in there. We're growing that baby to 50,000. Make sure you comment newsletter or just use the links or the floating banners or whatever, and you tap inside, because inside is where you're going to get some of those systems, some of those tools, some of those frameworks, some of those downloadable templates that you can incorporate in your business and or your life so you can get to that $1 million bag as well. So today is going to be episode 67. And we're going to be talking about, you're not distracted, you're just avoiding this. What are we talking about here? I'm about to get into this. Before we get into today's agenda, I want to say thank you guys for rocking with your boy. We're 90 plus days into this, and we've been growing this thing like crazy. I appreciate the love. The other thing too, I do these every single day, noon Central Standard Time. They're 30 minutes or less every single episode. Make sure you invite other like-minded individuals like yourself while we're building this thing out, right? That's going to be so important. And then the other thing too, I do have like a pre-made agenda and talking points that I work through. However, I do realize there's people that's also building their personal brand. They're building their $1 million brand. They're building their $1 million business. And you may have things that you face in your business or personally in your life. And we may need to talk about that as well. So what I invite you to do is slide into my DMs. Let me know what topic that's been impacting you in your $1 million build. And then if I feel like it's a topic that a lot of people relate to, we'll create a whole live around it so we can have a discussion around it as well. So make sure you slide into the DM. The other thing too is drop your first name, what platform you're streaming from. I'll make sure to say hi and thank you. I feel like I'm an approachable guy. So make sure you do that. And I'll say hi and thank you back. Let me say this as well. We're going to be streaming across LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as Instagram. So we got the whole family in one place. So just make sure you just drop your first name, what platform you're streaming from. Here's the thing. Eventually, we're going to get to that point where we start spending real ad dollars into our business. And it's important to know where's the best place to invest those dollars. So that's why it's so important why I stream across so many different channels here, because now I can see where more people tune into, right? So we're doing a little bit of playing around with the algorithm. We're trying to figure out where our growth is going to come from the most, so we can actually excel, or we can actually spend more time in that area, so we can grow to a different audience as well. Let me pause here. I see All Pro, thank you. I see Esther. I see user 66916. I see Baby Grip. I see I like the name. I see JD. I see my Instagram family on there. I see my YouTube family in there. I appreciate the love. Thanks for tapping in. And then my LinkedIn family is always there as well. So episode 67, what are we talking about? Listen, family, you're not distracted. That's not what it is. You've just been avoiding this. So let's get into today's agenda. Let me ask you something, family. Let me take a sip of water, and we're going to get right into this thing. Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes water be so good. It'd be so good, especially when it's nice and cold. So let me ask you, family, are you actually distracted, like real talk, or are you just avoiding the thing that matters the most? Listen, a lot of us, we aren't just scrolling all day. That's not what we're doing, right? We're not just wasting time. That's not what we're doing. We're truly working, right? At least it looks like work. We're tweaking things, we're planning things, we're researching things, we're organizing things, and we're staying busy, right? But nothing is actually moving forward in your business, personally, in your life. Nothing is moving forward. You're like, what the hell is going on? So here's the message. Not all distractions look like distractions. Real talk. Some of them look like progress. Woo, right? And that's the dangerous part, because you can sit there all day long feeling like you're productive and still avoid the one thing that would actually change the results for yourself. Let that sit for a second. So here's the prompts we're going to get in this episode. In this episode, we're going to get into a different type of distraction. And I'm not talking about your phone being distraction. I'm not talking about social media distracting you. I'm not even talking about the obvious stuff. I'm talking about the distractions that feel responsible, the ones that feel like you're doing the right thing in the moment. But quietly, family, real talk, they're slowing everything down. So by the end of this, you're going to understand why being busy is not the same as making progress, the subtle ways that you might be avoiding real execution in your business and or your life, and how to identify those exact moments that you're choosing distraction over impact. Here's what I have to learn. I'm going to share it with you. Distraction doesn't always pull you away from work. Sometimes it just keeps you right next to it, just not doing the part that actually matters. I'm going to pause there. Let me say thank you as people coming in. I see you, Kima. I see you, Maurice. I see you, MC or MSC. I see you, Lily. Thanks for tapping in. I got the whole family in here. Remember, we're streaming across LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I see you, Jessica. Thanks for tapping in, family. What are we doing? We're building $1 million business, and we're doing it in public. I'm your host, Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy across some circles. And we're building this thing out so you can get the playbook, the insights, the framework, the knowledge, so you can get to your $1 million bag here in 12 calendar months. Family, there's a pattern that you need to catch. All right. I'm going to share it with you. This shows up in the small moments. They're not the big decisions. We're talking about moments where you say to yourself, homeschool mom, thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you. Moments where you say to yourself, man, I just clean things up first, right? Or let me plan this out just a little bit more. Or, man, I need to do a little bit more research. Or, man, I want to make sure that this is right before I put this out there. You ever been like that before, right? We're trying to build something, and you keep delaying things. Oh, if I just clean this up just a little bit. Or, man, this needs a little bit more thought before I put this out there, before I reveal it to everybody. I appreciate the love. Thanks for tapping in. Right? Or I want to make sure this is absolutely right before I share with anybody. You ever been like that before? You're stuck in that moment where before you put something out there, you feel like it needs to be perfect, right? It sounds like you're being responsible, right? That's the trap, family. You don't even realize it, because what you're really doing is you're delaying exposure. Let that sit for a minute. What are we talking about? We're building $1 million business. We're building $1 million business. Half the battle of building $1 million business is your opportunity to be visible in the circles that's actually going to grow you in the spaces that you're trying to grow, right? And you're delaying your exposure because you're worried about what other people are going to think about what you have to say, or what your product looks like, or what your solution has to offer. Family, what you're doing, you're delaying the moment when you have to execute. You're delaying the moment when you need to be seen. You're delaying the moment when you need to find out what actually works for you. So instead, you know what you do? You stay in that preparation mode. You stay in refinement mode. You stay in motion, but without actually moving anything forward, right? And that's how people stay stuck while feeling busy. You ever been like that before? Y'all know somebody like that before? They tell you they're going to do something, and then you ask them, man, Pat, listen, you said you was going to build that business. How's that going? Or you listen, bro. I'm about to get to it. There's just a couple of small tweaks. I'm waiting on my AI tool to work for me, or I'm waiting on my designer to create a design or image of me, or I'm trying to build out an avatar. Like, you got all these reasons for why you haven't done that thing that you know you need to do, right? I see you, family. Yep, that you waiting 5 years. You've been like that too. Deal talk. Thanks for tapping in. That's the cycle right there, family, and it's comfortable. Like, you're really comfortable in that cycle because you tell yourself, "Oh, I'm working." Right? This is what you tell yourself. You keep lying to yourself. Oh, I'm working, but deep down, family, you know you're avoiding something real. That thing that's actually going to drive you to get that next corner office, that thing that's going to allow you to be in that boardroom, the thing that's going to allow your business to get to the next level. You keep pushing it off and you keep telling yourself, because I need to be perfect is the reason why I haven't done that thing, right? Deep down, you know you're avoiding the thing that needs to be get done. Family, I'm gonna run through this really quick. So I have to get honest with myself. I have to check myself on this one because I know I'm not the only one to do this. I've done this before as well. And you're sitting there, you're adjusting things that already are good enough. You ever done that before? You keep making tweaks. Maybe it's on your profile banner. Maybe you're making tweaks on your business website. Maybe you're making tweaks on that flyer that you're about to put out. You keep tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it because you want it to be perfect. Family, you're just afraid of judgment at that point. You're afraid of doing a thing that's going to actually give you the feedback that you need to get to your $1 million bag. You're overthinking things already, right? You're delaying the things that I knew. I mean, I was doing this as well. Delaying the things that I knew I needed to execute on. And I have to ask myself, is this actually moving me forward, or am I just staying active? That question is going to expose a lot of people. It exposed me. Because activity, it feels safe. Execution feels risky. Activity doesn't get judged. Execution does. Man, come on, let me pause there because I'm preaching to myself on the camera because I don't see a whole lot of people raising their hand and saying, Pat, man, you spot on. I see some love coming in. Thanks, Hummingbird. Thank you, homeschool mom, Batty. I appreciate you. I see you, Pharaoh. Thanks for tapping in, family. Activity keeps your confidence intact. Execution is what puts it on the line. So what do we normally naturally do? We try to protect ourselves, right? We try to stay in that space where we feel in control. But that space, family, it doesn't produce results. And at some point, you have to decide something. Do I want to feel productive or do I want to actually grow and progress? I'm going to pause. Come on, man. I've already said too much already. I feel like I'm stepping on some people's toes, but I'm not. I'm just calling out what I see. I'm calling out myself. I've done that before, right? I've been in the boardrooms. I've been trying to build $1 million business in public. I'm the one that is here every single day dropping this knowledge. There's days, man, I'm like, damn, I really got to write a script. Man, I really got to show up on camera. Man, I really have to, create a design that's actually going to resonate with people. Man, I really have to do this, that, or the other. And instead of talking about it, I'm like actually going to do that thing that we need to do so I can get to that $1 million bag, right? So let me show you the shift that I have to make. Man, I had to tighten things up. And it's not by doing things more, but by being more intentional about what actually counts. 3 simple shifts. And I'm going to share it with you. Y'all know I'm an open book. I'm about to share with you. I see these people coming in. Thanks for showing it up. Let me say this really quick. I see you, Shockwave. Thanks for popping in. I see you, Humming Jessica. Thanks for popping in. I see you, Pharaoh. Thank you for popping in. Listen, I do these every single day, noon Central Standard Time, and they're 30 minutes or less, okay? I'm going to share that with you. They're 30 minutes or less. What that means is we're on episode 66. There's 65 additional episodes that you may have not connected with. There's 2 places you can find them. One is going to be on YouTube. I created a playlist called Building $1 Million Business. The other is going to be underneath my LinkedIn tab, under the event section in my LinkedIn profile. You can find the other 65 as well. Now, because we're building $1 million business and we're doing this in public, what's going to happen at some point, I'm going to lock down that free access and I'm going to create a course around those to monetize it because we're getting into $1 million business, right? I can't just keep having free resources. So make sure you tap into those while they're free right now. Check those out. And then the other thing, invite other like-minded individuals like yourself to these lives. I do this every single day, noon Central Standard Time. So make sure you tap in your board, support me, and I also make sure I support you as well. Remember, if there's topics that are impacting you personally and or in your business that you think this is going to be a great live, make sure you slide in my DM. And if it feels like it's something that's going to be of value for a lot of people, then we'll make sure to write a live around that and you can join them as well. So 3 simple shifts that I have to make. 1, Define what done actually looks like. I'm going to lose some people right here. I am. Don't worry about it. I already know I'm going to lose some people right here. One, define what done actually looks like. I'm not talking about not what you started, not what you're planning. I'm talking about what's actually done. If it doesn't lead to something being shipped, posted, sent, or executed, it's not progress, family. I'm going to tell you that right now. Number two, catch the delay in real time. What are we talking about here? The moment you hear yourself say, oh, I'll just do this first, pause, ask yourself, is this necessary or am I buying time that's preventing me from doing that thing that's going to mark that to the done status, right? That awareness that changes everything for you. Number three, prioritize exposure over perfection. You don't need to be perfect, family. I understand that. We're putting ourselves out there online. We're putting ourselves out there on the social media. We're making ourselves visible. We're exposing who we really are behind the camera or in front of the camera, right? You don't need to be perfect, family. You need to be real talk. Like, you don't need feedback. You don't need excuse me. What you need feedback. You need the reps. You need the data. That's what, when you start building something, you start building in public, personally and or your business, you have to put yourself out there if you're going to get there. How many people got promoted, just promoted without being in the room? Like, they're not even part of the company. They got promoted in that company. No, one, I have to be in the company in order to get promoted. Two, I have to make myself visible to get promoted. Three, I have to express that I want to get promoted, right? That's normally how that actually works. Same thing what happens in your business. If you want to grow your $1 million brand, we can't stand behind the camera and hand the microphone and say, man, one day I wish I had $1 million business, but you're not actually trying to grow $1 million business. Your feedback comes when you actually start putting your stuff out there, when you start actually doing the reps, when you actually start building data that you can go back and lean into to figure out what's actually working. None of that happens if you stay in preparation mode, family. That shift right there, that's where momentum actually starts. I'm about to close this thing out. I'm about to land it really quick. Let me say this. Thank y'all for rocking with me each and every day, noon Central Standard Time. Make sure you invite other like-minded individuals to this. This is episode 60. What did we say? 67. 67. This is episode 67, week 14 of a 52-week build. So here's what this week is. Here's what this build. I see you, Artie Espresso. Art Espresso. Thank you for tapping in. So here's what this build is reinforcing. Planning feels productive, right? Organizing feels productive. Tweaking things feel productive, but execution, family, man, I'm gonna lose some people. That's what actually moves things forward. This is where your results come from. And most people, y'all already know these people, they stay close to execution without ever stepping into execution. That's the difference right there. That's the gap that you need to close. And if you can close that gap right there, you don't just stay busy. You start actually building something. You start building your $1 million brand. You start angling for that corner offers. You start getting to that $1 million bag. You start building that $1 million business. So here's where we're going to go next. Episode 68. We're going to get into time. Oh, man. Yeah, I feel like every episode is stepping on some toes. But if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm just keeping it real. Like, I'm just telling you, like, we're building this thing out in public. I've been there in the boardroom where we sold a $750 million technology company. And the thing that separated me from everybody else, it wasn't the fact that I was a black guy. That wasn't even the case. Well, probably helped. Maybe it did. I'm not sure. But I started understanding the game, man. Visibility works so differently when you start leaning into it. When you make yourself visible enough so you can gain the reps, the impact, and the data that you need to start building on that, right? And then once you build on that, you can put yourself in almost any room that you want to be in, right? So in episode 68, we're going to get into time. And we're not talking about surface level time. I'm not talking about, oh, how do you manage your schedule time? I'm talking about why people say they don't have time. And that thing is actually preventing them from going to the person that they want to be, the person that they know they should be, the business that they know they should have, the income that they want to make, things like this. When the real issue is something entirely different. Family, thank y'all for tapping with your boy. I'm about to close this out. Right when this thing is getting live, I see all these TikTok people coming in. I appreciate you. I see the Instagram family coming in. I appreciate you. My LinkedIn family coming in. I appreciate you. YouTube, thank you. I appreciate you. And Facebook as well. So tomorrow, knock on wood, Lord's will, I'm blessed enough to see another day. We'll be back here building out $1 million business. Here's the other thing too. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, This is your opportunity. I got links, I got QR codes, I got floating banners, I got something in my bio, or you can simply type newsletter and I'll make sure you personally get your insight. I mean, you get your invite in there. We're growing that thing to 50,000. We got over 6,000 right now. And we still have what, 9 months to get there, what, 8.5 months to get there. So I would appreciate your support on Inside. Other than that, family, until next time, let's keep getting it.